All right, we're gonna try this again, guys. I really do apologize for that. So, game is in. All right, let's see what happens this time. We did a computer restart. I actually had to plug my keyboard in and out. I don't know what was going on with that. That was weird.
Previously during the investigation.
So, you want to find out everything there is to know about Diane?
Agent York, Nick is leaving the bar.
Wait! She's still alive.
Stop right there, Nick. You're under arrest for the...
Okay. Yo, what's going on, guys? Thank you so much for this. I appreciate the support. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I had to restart my computer anyway. I haven't restarted it in quite a while, so it was better to restart it anyway, you know. All right, so we're gonna try to do the game again and kind of see what's going on here. Okay. Cool. Hey, he's still alive? Yeah, we're still here. We're still here. I do apologize. I had a little issue I had to fix real quick. We're okay. And thank you, by the way. Sorry about that, guys. I had to restart it really fast, but we're back. I do apologize for that and for the inconvenience. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this actually here. Now I gotta reorganize this. I hate restarting my PC because it's a lot. Go through every single. Hi, what's going on? What happened? Switch over to this real quick. See what's going on. We're gonna want to click. Now we're here. We're gonna go ahead. That. Dude, uh-oh, what happened? What happened? Wait, is it not working for you guys? You guys can hear it. Hope you guys can. I don't think this game is as loud as GTA, so I might have to bump up the sound volumes here quite a bit for you guys to hear. I think we should be alright. So the game should be running phenomenal. So you guys should be watching. Should be good. Alright, now we were having issues where every time we went to the car, we would crash. Yeah, right, yeah, life, man. Life is hard, guys. It's a hard thing, you know? We get into a car real quick. Alright, some reason, guys, my mouse is being weird. I don't know why it's doing that. I forgot how to go. Oh, Q, here we go. Okay, so I had to restart the game for it to work, guys. That's the only way it's working now.
Zach.
Alright, let's go ahead and continue on here,
From
guys.
where we left off.
That's very true.
You know
Yeah,
what?
very
There was
true.
one band that we both liked. We went all the way to New York to see them play. Right, Zach? It took us hours to get to New York by bus. We got to the CBGB. And
Yeah,
so nervous
I
we
broke it
couldn't go
big time,
inside.
guys. My game is weird, like my
Took us
mouse.
30
Oh wait,
minutes to
now
gather
now
enough
it's
courage
fixed.
to go inside.
I had to restart the computer for the
Inside.
game to work, guys. How crazy
We were
is that?
shocked. Right, Zach? I'll never forget that feeling. It was like a blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg bop. The Ramones.
The Ramones.
That song still makes me feel good. And that's a sign of a classic. But it's amazing I got in without being asked for ID. Those were the good old days. Rock and roll high school and Chinese rock. Sheena is a punk rocker and surfing bird. And I was so depressed when I heard the news of the deaths. Original punk is one of the greatest gifts left from the 20th century.
Yeah, my
Let's hope they're
comments
still
are
rocking on.
comments are
wherever
messed
they
up,
are.
guys. Hold on, time out. Whoopsie daisy. All right, are we good? Like, is it working now? Oh wait, I forgot we can't show that because that's oh gosh. Yeah, Thomas, this is for you, bro. Lots of stuff in my face. Need some H2O up in here. Picking and driving. Alright, we got this. Yeah. I think I'm going the wrong way, guys. I think I gotta go. Oh, I almost crashed. We gotta go this way. Get to our objective here. I'm breaking everything, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm always breaking everything, but it's okay. We're gonna fix it. We are going to fix it. Am I going the right way? I hope so. Left his headlights? Okay. What's horn?
So, Zach, about Emily. My first impression when we met her on that bridge is slightly different from what I think about her now.
Right, true, very true.
Don't you think she's pretty mesmerizing? And Zach, she seemed interested in you. Did you make a move on her? No, don't answer, I'm just asking. But if you like her, I won't stand in your way. But I'd like to hear the truth. Because this kind of stuff could affect our friendship, you know.
Yeah, it could. It really could.
I'm just interested in her, that's all. It isn't love or anything. From what I can tell, she doesn't even seem to like me. It's pretty clear from how she acts when she's around me.
Right, true,
As you
true.
know, Zach, I'm cautious with women.
Very
because
cautious.
I was badly burned in my last relationship.
Yeah, I
I
think
really
weren't
have
we
no
all?
idea what women are thinking. That's my problem. You're pretty friendly with the ladies, aren't you, Zach?
Ooh.
Maybe you should teach me about how to interact with women.
Mm-hmm. I got you, Thomas. I'm gonna finish this plate for you, bro. Mm-hmm. Thomas is like, Trix is always eating. Movie time. Let's see what this visit's gonna be all about.
Just as Harry said, it's crowded and quiet.
Oh yeah, the cemetery. I don't look like a cemetery. What the heck?
Hey, Brian.
Agent. Mr. Agent, how are you?
Oh, not bad. I'm, just playing a little game with Harry.
Game? A game? Is that fun?
We've only just started, Brian. The fun is about to begin. I'd like to ask you something, actually. Is there a tree in the graveyard that drops red seeds?
Seeds. Red seeds. That tree does.
There's a bed right there, guys. Look, that's where he sleeps? What the heck?
And that one.
Oh my gosh.
And that one too. All red seeds.
Wow. Got a puzzle. Uh-oh. Just save it. We need to save it to be safe, guys. Save? Yes, thank you. Alright. I gotta do it, though. I have to eat, man. I gotta eat, because I don't want to eat junk later, you know? So I gotta eat real food now. What is this? Green tomato? Oh, yeah. I'll put it in the toolbox. Red seats. Down the fence. Hey, we can't. Go get them. Why? What's wrong with this guy? Has he lost his mind? Let's check our sleep and hunger levels real quick. I think we're good. Oh, guys, we're good. Perfect. We're perfect. Alright. This way? Oh, look, it's locked by barbed wire. Oh. Wow. So this monster is gonna be waiting for me, guys. Why don't you come out here, bro? See, nobody sees these creatures but me. Like we're in. Oh, wait, there's a bone out here. Or you know what? It actually might be up. It's on the other side, so I'll have to get that bone later. Alright, well, in that case, then we're gonna need to go right through here where this guy is, and just be careful not to hurt ourselves, you know? How many bullets do I have? He's not gonna want to go past this part. Okay, well, in that case, let's grab some, we take the submachine gun. This thing, we got quite a bit of ammo in this bad boy.
Nice shot. Great. Yes. Great. Yes. Bullseye. Bullseye. Amazing.
Amazing. Bullseye. I think he's down. Are you down and out? I think he's down and out, guys. But let's see what he dropped here. He dropped something. Let's grab this, whatever item it is. Come on. I can't. Oh, there we go. Band-aids. All right. Band-aids are good. Game. Oh, gosh. Oh.
Yes. Bullseye. Great. Amazing. Nice shot. Nice shot.
Nice shot. Amazing. Bullseye. Oh, wow. No going back. Got some tentacle action going on here, guys. Damn, buddy. You dare come back alive. I can't move until this creature is out of here. What is going on? What is this invisible barrier? Yo, seriously, there's a barrier in my way, guys. Well, that's cheating, bro. That's cheating, dude.
Great. Yes. Great. Nice shot.
Come on. I'm like stuck. First aid, I'll take it. And keep any more items, okay. Put them all into the toolbox, guys. Alright, so the toolbox it is. I can't, it won't let me go. Oh, there we go. Gosh. Need to move it.
Great. Amazing. Bullseye.
She's down and now. Let's get this guy now.
Bullseye. Yes. Great.
He's down and out as well. They're not dropping much of anything though here, guys. Look, they blocked me, so that's a bad thing. Hold on. Oh, she's gonna do that weird shenanigans.
Amazing. Bullseye. Amazing.
She's down and out. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Why are these guys like in my way?
Yes. Nice shot.
Seriously?
Nice shot.
What the? No! Get off of me! You liking that? You liking that? Break free, dude. Break free. Yep. Oh man, she's choking me, guys. Oh no.
Yes.
This is shenanigans, yo. I'm not getting any of these bullets either, guys. Not good.
Great. Yes.
Alright, come on. No, get out of my way! Yo, that's so cheating. How? I can't run past these guys.
Nice shot.
Amazing.
Nice shot.
And look, they come right alive.
Nice shot.
Move! Run, just run. Oh, this is so glitchy. No, no, you don't.
Nice shot.
Here, jeez. Oh, why is this so glitchy? I got 30 bullets, guys. One pass. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Yo, I can't keep wasting bullets on this, guys. Oh my god, this is so crap. It's not working the way it's supposed to. Alright, so let's go ahead and head this up real quick. Break this shenanigan. Alright, let's move it. We're gonna hit up on the item menu again because we need to get some we need something that's gonna benefit us here, guys. And honestly, I don't have the ammo. I don't have the ammo for this, so we're gonna have to be careful. Thomas is laughing at me. He's like, okay, so those guys are out of the way. So before I even go doing a target, you know what I'm gonna do? I gotta grab the extra item. Go ahead and hit up the item menu here real quick. And then see what we want to do, guys. Here we go, guys. Let's go. We're gonna take that metal, and we're gonna definitely take this bone. Got the left foot. But we're getting bones, guys. Like weird stuff, you know?
A human bone? This doesn't look related to the case, but shouldn't I let someone know?
So we got the red tree. Let's see what's going on with this red tree with leaves, guys. Movie time.
Zach, mission accomplished. Let's get back to Harry's. The reward better be good. But you know about these seeds? They were right here under my nose. It's as if I was carefully carrying a bottle of water while walking in a pool. We're learning the countryside version of common sense the hard way, Zach.
Do we want to shoot this creature? Nah, we shouldn't do that, guys. Like, just be nice. Be nice. Alright, well, let me get out of here now. We have to take the long way. Alright, well then we're gonna take the long way back around. So this area was actually very glitchy, guys. It's like, so when the enemy was spawning, we were getting stuck to where they would normally spawn. And where did Brian go? Brian's gone, guys. Maybe he's the murderer. Who knows? He's still here. In any case, I'm gonna save it again because I don't want to have to do all that again. Wow. Do I want to save it? Yeah. I want to save it. I'm just happy that the game's actually working. So this game is weird. But honestly, for this game to work, sometimes you just gotta reset the game. That's just crazy, yo, you know? Another green tomato or tomato. Talk to Brian. He's like he reminds me of like the names or whatever. Bad seed. He knows the seeds are bad. Huh. Is he giving me a clue? This grave has been dug up. Why would someone do such a thing? It's weird. Why is grass under grass? I think we're good here, guys. Let's go ahead and head out. Let's get back into the cop car. And we should be fine. Yeah, Mario. Shay, what's up, buddy? I see you. Turn it around.
Oh, look, keep looking.
Wow.
And he's like,
Yeah, so check this out, guys. You guys know how, right? Actually, Rocky. Tape thing going on. I received a nice little birthday gift today. Or that's the one. You guys are looking at. We got some new Corsair ones, so hopefully these work out. I hope. Okay, we don't have to worry about live anymore because you won't be able to see it too much, but we got the 12 months, bro. Ooh. Look at that. People still love me. I'm surprised. And of course, I had a nice little birthday card. And then there was some more too, but these are just the ones that are on my brain. Let's go ahead. Thank you, Jem. I appreciate it. Why didn't anyone buy you last year? Yo, somebody buys me last year. I will love them a long time.
Anyway, Zach, there aren't many young women left in this town.
How rude!
Even Emily could be targeted next.
But you know what though? Last year's not
Can't rule
to what? December
All
10th?
the more reason to catch the Raincoat Killer ASAP. And that means working closely together. We can work out the Emily situation later. Don't get me wrong, Zach.
What do I look
I
behind
mean, I'm
me?
not interested in Emily because she's female or anything. I'm just saying she's interesting. You know, as in interesting person.
You can't really buy it yet.
But by looking
Yeah,
at
not really. So everybody's gotten keys, but they still gotta wait till
She
December
reminds me of
10th.
something I used to feel. That's all.
Oh,
Like back when I first met you.
this is railroad tracks. I wonder if
You know,
that would
feeling we all
that
used
would
to
work.
feel back when we were kids. Feeling safe while also feeling a need to protect. That kind of feeling.
Yeah, but it's gonna be okay.
But Zach, who made me feel that back then?
That's a good question.
We're getting closer one step at a time to cracking this case. I have a feeling it's going to get tough.
Okay, so we're making it in through the town now, guys. Alright, so we're going back 2,300 yards. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, so it doesn't really give you a key. It just puts it in your library. So ready to download on the 10th. Right. Oh, you can't even download it yet. Wow. But at least you'll have it installed and ready. That's good. Well, Jay, at least you'll get to test it out, bro. Let me know what you think, you know? That'd be pretty cool. I'm just glad like, this was stuff that I needed, especially for the stream. Like, I can't keep using these headphones. I'll probably still keep these connected. So that way, like, if my son wants to, like, hear it or whatever, I can do that. And then I'll probably just still get me, like, the other ones in. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, Jay, I saw that you applied. Did you apply for the LSPD, bro? Alright, guys, we're almost there. We're like 1,100 yards away, so we're almost there. I said go for it, Jay. Go for it, bro. Show the game off. Let people see it, you know? Oh, dude, the app is easy, bro. The app is easy. Trust. It will be a breeze for you, bro. I'm gonna save the game really quick just to be safe. We made it. We made a pretty far run, and plus with this game, guys, the crashes are real. We're gonna save it right here. Not as hard as the driver's test, bro. Bro, driver's test. Surprised I didn't have to take a weapons license test. They should have actually done that, right? Take you to like how to teach you to like the gun. You know, that'd be kind of cool. Probably annoying, but kind of cool. Yeah, a little early. A little early. Alright, here we go. Let's go inside Harry's house.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, finally you have arrived. You are welcome to come inside.
Yeah, that would be cool to have a test for getting a license. Yeah, I think that would be awesome, dude. Coordinate here and then hashtag meaning or short like the weapon laws. Or Yeah, what do you guys think? Okay. And we're done. Got it. Oh look, there's a save right here. We're gonna save it again to be saved. Alright, look at those stats coming in here, guys. Jay coming in with the 600. Zoo's coming in with the 15. You're getting it, bro. Don't worry. Remember when you were like, what, 3 or 4? Now you're at 15. Okay. Oh, look, we got a grandfather clock. We gotta watch that one. Let's talk to Harry again, guys. Here goes this guy at the piano, this weird guy.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, please proceed to Mr. Stewart's room. There he awaits you, I shall assume.
This guy rhymes with everything he's like the poetic. He's like a poetic servant. Whoa, that just came out of nowhere.
Yes?
The timing is now to meet Mr. Stewart. Shall be kind and be alert. The timing is now and not tomorrow. If you miss it, you'll feel sorrow. So until your meeting is finished, shall be locking the front door. If you get tired or become famished, we have please use doors. That is so weird. He's so weird. He's like a poet. Right. Well, Zeus also, I feel like you might have been around more like, look, they're using like flat PNG files for like the doors. Look, see? These are just like picture tiles for doors, guys. You can Photoshop this so easily. But that was technology back then. Technology wasn't really as impressive as it is today. You know. Alright, this is Stewart's office. Where am I going? This is all sleep and saving and stuff. I'm not. Oh wait. It's gun. Where is? And a pineapple. Huh. I'll definitely take that and put that into the thingy. Change my outfit, yo. Up the suitcase. So that was when we grabbed the suit rainy stripe. Okay, it looks almost brand new. We're gonna go ahead and select that because we actually get stop, and this we're gonna clean. Okay, those are getting cleaned up right now, guys, and I got this bad boy back, which is nice. Okay, let's get the heck out of here. Mr. Stewart, he's right over there. Let's go. No, it's locked. Interesting. My health is down too, guys. We gotta get our health back up. Forgot how we're gonna go about with that. I think we figured it out. Got another puzzle. This guy's house is filled with puzzles. Hold on. I see 2 statues. Or 2 statues and then 3 of these like you can move. Is that what we're doing? A statue of the cavalry trooper. Looks like it might move along the groove floor. Must be another one of these gimmicks. So where would he want him? I see that there's numbers. 50. Looks like here we have 5, 6. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we have 30, 60. This will be interesting. The clue is probably on one of these. Well, let's check out these statues. No, we can't do nothing with these guys. Okay, so there's gotta be some kind of clue. Or just do it this way. Here, come here. Can't do it too. What's this way? This is locked too, so it looks like we're gonna have to take a guess, guys. Or maybe these statues give me the hint. 14, 23, 26. Oh, here is 14, 23, 26. 14. Okay, so we have 15. Pickups and less audio. I don't even know how. These three musical scores have been left open. Problem is, we don't have. So none of these rooms we can go to, they're all locked. So really, this one we're going to be guessing 14, 23, 26. So there is no 14. 23, 26. These go in sets of 10s. So we got 1 through 6, and then 10 through 60. Huh. Which version of Minecraft is best to get? Honestly, that's personal preference. Most people do the mobile, Windows 10, and Xbox because they're all crossplay. All three of them can play together. Now, you can go Java, and that will let you use like the really cool mods. It's just not crossplay compatible, so you're pretty much only able to play with other Java users. I haven't beat this yet, Skull, bro. Nah, when I play games, I take my time. I enjoy them. You know, I try not to rush through them. But I am trying to complete it, though. One thing about me, guys, I always bounce different games. I don't stick to one game. And this is my problem. When I was younger, I used to invest so much more time into games and probably beat it in like a day or two. But now, I do episodes. Like, I literally just, I don't play for several hours. Like, my mind, like, I get so, like, off track. And I do other things rather than just focus on the main mission and complete the game. Like, you know, especially streaming. I'm talking, I'm playing, I'm streaming, I'm taking down notes, I'm doing all this other stuff, I'm troubleshooting. You know, I'm not entirely 100% into the game. Okay, so it looks like we can move these guys. So it looks like we can move them in any direction. My thing is 14, 23, 26. Are these named anything? A statue of the cavalry trooper. Statue of the cavalry trooper. Okay, so they all say the same thing. All facing. Is there a different thing we can look at here? So. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Java sucks, but Java is the big Minecraft when it comes to like people who makes the YouTube videos or they use mods like the Pokemon mod or something. All that cool stuff. But yeah, Java was the original, so it's been around the longest, and eventually Microsoft made its Windows Xbox version, and Just like the Xbox 4K version is not compatible. That's Xbox only as well. So just think of that as Xbox's Java version. You know. This is gonna be tough. So 2, 4. Pretty might be one of them. I don't know how I would do it. And what's weird about it is they give us odd numbers, but hold on a second. Yo, I think I just figured it out. Guys, I think we got this. So hold on, the first one was 14, right? So we have, this is row 10, and then we're gonna go over 4 tiles to the right. All right, so let's push this bad boy. And he pushes it like Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. Very slowly. Oh, we don't want to push it there. Push it up again. Come on. This reminds me of the Tomb Raider 1 days. Wait, why is he not... Why is he not pushing? We're gonna push this over into 4. Yes, we're gonna push this over into 4, guys. So this wasn't actually a hard puzzle. We got it. This was a little common sense, just a little bit of paying attention. But I figured it out. See, there's 1. All right. 14, 23. 26. 26 would be at the end. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, 6 is... I had to double check, guys. I had to double check. Gonna be 26. Need to push this up all the way to the next tile row. We got this, guys. Yeah, he grunted so hard he farted, right? Sounds like he be farting. But remember, guys, farts only gas that eat your face. Alright, so we got the second one. This Mr. Stewart. 26. 23. Alright, we're moving in on, guys. Keep going. There we go, a little more. We got it. We're done. 23, actually. So we gotta move this over to 3. And 1 more. This guy is making me work out to go pay a visit. Jeez, I guess this is the price I need to pay. bum, 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 bum. We are going in. Let's go see Mr. Stu. Alright, so we made it into the other hallway. You know me, guys. Curiosity. So I'm gonna check this side because this side might need something. Oh, it's a secret? Looks like we're going in circles though. Oh, but we are not. Wow, that's a big lock. Can I shoot it? Okay, hold on. What about this room? Ooh. Oh, we found a ribbon. Look at it. Even this game got some reflections. How come Call of Duty Modern Warfare don't have reflections? But this game was made well before 2003 and had reflections. Like, come on. Activision? Really? What excuse do you have? Give it to me. I want to hear it. What's your reason? Better be valid. What the? This was the way out of here. Okay. Hold on, guys. Where is my... heck would I be at? Honestly, I don't even... It's so weird. Alright, let's go ahead and move into Mr. Stewart here, guys. So that puzzle was not too bad. Not too bad. This guy's got locks all over the place, guys. Right, you sneaky little young. I'm gonna save it though. Where's the save at? Right here. Let's save it and be safe, guys. I don't want to really like crash right now and really that just be bad news, right? So move out. Actually, let's go back in. Let's look at ammunition. Do I have any ammo for my submachine gun? Because I'm running out. Okay, so we hit okay. Take item out. Weapons. I forgot we had the shotgun. I haven't used the shotgun yet. Looks like we're gonna have to go buy some ammo, guys. We're gonna get that. I have no. Hold on, guys.
Harry, turns out what you said was true, and I'd like to hear more.
York, as you know, there's a powerful mystery surrounding these seeds. You've seen them at those other murders that took place elsewhere. And you've seen them deeply involved with the murders in this town as well.
That's right. But how do you know all this?
York, you must be younger than you look. Youngsters tend to hurry so much that they let things slip right past them. What you need to do is slow this down a bit. That way you'll see what's really important. Let me tell you a story. 50 years ago, when the war was over, just about when the communist Red started to become a rising threat, our town constructed a huge clock tower. Then, soon afterwards, a serial killer wearing a red raincoat went on a killing spree.
The legend of the Raincoat Killer? Stop playing games with me, Harry. That's nothing more than folklore. The FBI has no such record of a multiple homicide case in this town.
Oh, my game crashed. Dang it, I shouldn't have did what I did. Hold on, guys. Good thing I saved it. It's annoying. Well, I saved it either way, but man, I gotta skip that part. Yeah, this is I launched something, and every time I launch something, it crashes. What was I thinking? How would I do that?
Previously during the investigation.
So, you want to find out everything there is to know about Diane?
Agent York, Nick is leaving the barn.
Wait! She's still alive.
Stop right there, Nick. You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Diane Ames. Emily, hurry!
You saved my life.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless. I couldn't save Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
Hold on, guys.
Harry, turns out what you said was true, and I'd like to hear more.
York, as you know, there's a powerful mystery surrounding these seeds. You've seen them at those other murders that took place elsewhere. And you've seen them deeply involved with the murders in this town as well.
That's right. But how do you know all this?
York, you must be younger than you look. Youngsters tend to hurry so much that they let things slip right past them. What you need to do is slow this down a bit. That way you'll see what's really important. Let me tell you a story. 50 years ago, when the war was over, just about when the communist Reds started to become a rising threat, our town constructed a huge clock tower. Then, soon afterwards, a serial killer wearing a red raincoat went on a killing spree.
The legend of the Raincoat Killer? Stop playing games with me, Harry. That's nothing more than folklore. The FBI has no such record of a multiple homicide case in this town.
York, Anna, Becky, and now Diane. Their deaths are real, not folklore, not legend. The Raincoat Killer is also real. But under a strict gag order, the mass murder case was never made public. In fact, one could say that it was completely erased from history. Tell me, who do you think would be able to do something like that?
The military.
Very good. A model student.
But if there are no records about it, then how do you know it really happened?
Good question, York. Why would I know this? The answer is very simple. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. The brutal killer himself. But we can talk about the details of that encounter another time. What we need to talk about is your Raincoat Killer. The new Raincoat Killer, if you will. The new Raincoat Killer. Yes, let's call him that. After all, he's not the real one. What you want to know more about is the new one. Between 10 and 20 years ago, I noticed that these red seeds were special, and someone else did too. The human imagination can lead to tragedy sometimes. Someone linked the red seeds to the serial killer legend and said, if you eat the red seeds and then kill someone, you will become immortal. This new fabricated legend was passed on from one to the next, evolving and changing every time, like a rumor. Some may have actually taken the seeds to try them out, to prove the legend, that is. York, the red seeds you have found from those other murders, they all came from this town, together with that one evil rumor. People on the other side of the planet may have heard of it by now, and new seeds might be growing in different parts of the world.
So you're saying that the series of cases I've been following are all linked to this town? That's interesting, Harry. But there's no evidence to support that story. None of the criminals we caught for the other murders ever mentioned anything like that.
It's your job, your role and duty to look into that, York. Now, the game must go on. You know I said that the incident 50 years ago was totally erased? Well, not quite. Records still exist in the sheriff's office. The old sheriff back then hated the military and did his own investigation. I need you to bring those documents here to me. Once you've done that, I'll tell you everything I know.
Okay, it's worth a look. And we may as well let the old man have his fun.
Alright guys, hold on.
Documents from a case that happened 50 years ago. Let's play along with the old man for a little longer, shall we?
Zach, that means we need to head for the sheriff's department.
And my game just crashed, but luckily for us, we saved the game, which is good, guys. And let me just make sure the save actually went through. I've been having a lot of crashes today, so I do apologize. Yeah, Jay, definitely. You already know, bro. Absolutely. All right, so we got the game coming back on. Yeah, right? Let me make sure it's saved real quick, guys.
Previously during the investigation.
So, you want...
Okay, so the game did save, guys. And it keeps crashing here. What? Oh, this is where I need to restart the computer again. All right. Well, with that being said, guys, we're gonna go ahead and actually end this episode. We'll come back again, doing another one. So thank you so much for everything, guys. I will catch you guys in the next broadcast.